The Festival of Lights started on 1 December. Come and join us from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. as we light up the zoo. There are many features on our display, and our main attraction is the Tree of Light.
My name is Tshepisho Mkhabudi. I am one of the birds keepers here in Johannesburg Zoo. So where we are at right now is called the brooder room. We use it for training. We use it for also hand raising chicks. Today we'll be speaking about owls and how we train them. So generally with owls, it's not quite easy to train them. In Johannesburg Zoo, we prefer to train them while they're still very young. One of our owls, which is Stinson, our ambassador owl, was actually a donation. He came in quite young. We had to start building a relationship with him, and so we built that and then started training him so that we can take him out to the public. Most of them were just hand raised every afternoon because we do know they are nocturnal animals. We prefer feeding them in the afternoon. That's when the training takes place. We take their feed and then have 2 trainers per day. We call them by name. We want them to come to the glove. What we do when they are on the glove, we just brush their feet a little bit just so they get used to being touched on the feet, and so that they do not have a problem when maybe we want to assess their feet or something like that for medical purposes. We train them to take the food and just listen to cues. We want them to learn to take direction because we do have an owl program, so we want them to also be familiar with being around people, because the ones that we have at our on display, we do not fiddle with them, we do not train them, we allow them to be in the most natural states as possible. With these ones, it's a little bit different, of course. They are familiar with people. We do take them out during the day because they are less active then, and the aggression is less. Also, it's easier for people to learn when they're in close proximity. That is why we take the owls out. It is about educating people about the importance of owls in the environment, especially because we've got superstitions that surround owls. Some believe they are good luck, some believe they are bad luck, and most of all, people associate them with witchcraft. In turn, we get people killing them. Some use them for traditional medicine because they believe they have some kind of power. So what we try to do is educate them on how they can help them, having them around. Instead of them killing them, this is how they can coexist with them. Especially in townships like your Alexandra, your Soweto, where they have problems of rats. So them having owls there benefits them. So that is what we teach them and how these birds can help them. Owls are not very difficult to breed. Even in captivity, that's the same, because every year in the Johannesburg Zoo, we do have different species that give us babies. Naturally so, we do not have to hand raise. We do not have to, fiddle with them. They take care of their own, they grow. It's different with some of the birds where we have to, sometimes they reject their eggs or the chicks. So we have to take them into our brooder room and then start hand raising. Owls generally are the ones that if by any chance we hand raise, we will keep for training. So yeah, that's all we have for you today, but we'd really love to have you guys coming visiting the zoo so that you get more interesting stories on our beautiful animals and how we do things around Johannesburg Zoo.
I'm Catherine Stanton, I'm the curator of primates, and what we have with us are 2 baby spider monkeys. And this is Ollie, and this one is Pippin. And Ollie is almost a year old. Pippin is 2.5 months old. They're brothers, so they share the same mother and father. And their mother, unfortunately, was hand-reared. And one of the challenges with hand-reared primates is that they don't learn the skills of hand-rearing their own youngsters. So we managed to save Ollie. And what we tried to do was introduce Ollie back to her and to show her how it's done. So when she fell pregnant again, we hoped that we had actually taught her enough skills in order to actually look after Pippin. And unfortunately, she still refused to look after Pippin. So we've got Pippin, we've put her on contraception. We obviously, hand rearing is not something that we want to do. Obviously, we only intervene when we have to. So these guys get to grow up together, and ultimately when they're old enough, what we'll be doing is trying to introduce them back to the group and have a larger group. At the moment, we've got a male and two females in our group, and obviously it would be very nice to obviously add the others.
For starters, they just eat the infant formula. So when they grow up as well at a stage whereby they are able to eat some solid food, we do give them like fruit. We do mix them with vegetables as well. We start with some soft stuff like the bananas.
So at the moment, obviously, especially the little one, would be on the mother all the time. So obviously, he's just communicating with us, making sure that everything is all right. We get to obviously reassure him that actually everything is okay. It's really hard work hand rearing them. We definitely do not recommend anybody choosing to do this out of choice or anything. And definitely, we're very anti people having them as pets. So we've got to be very careful about how we present looking after these, because everybody goes, oh, they're so sweet, I'd like one of those. But in fact, they are such hard work. They're like real babies. You've got to give them all the emotional needs that they need. Because they'd be on their mother, we've got to be with them all the time. You can't leave them on their own. And obviously that love and affection is very important for them. So it's a lot of hard work. We're not doing it alone. We've actually got a team of people just so that we can actually do the rest of our jobs as well. Otherwise, we'd be full-time mothers.